guys, it's Fix It with Biscuit, and what we got here is we're going to be heating up some bismuth and making some bismuth crystals. This stuff is super cool. You need utensils. I'm just using a fork and a spoon that I bought. I bought all this stuff from Goodwill, super cheap. Don't use your own cooking ware, as you don't want to reuse it to eat with. I bought this as a mold, and I'm going to be using this for doing aluminum, copper, and all different kinds of stuff. I thought this was super cool. Got that from Goodwill too, for reasonably priced. And so let's go ahead and start throwing some bismuth in here. I've already got the pan starting to heat up, and you can see that we're going to start with a few smaller pieces to get some metal molting. You want to be super careful as you're putting stuff in here once the bismuth starts to melt, so that way you don't splash on yourself, because you will get burnt. This stuff does get pretty warm. I mean, it's like 500 degrees is 500 and something degrees. I don't know the exact for a melting point, but it's up there. 500 degrees is enough to melt your skin. So you can see it's already starting to melt that quick. It does not take very long. You want to do this in a real ventilated area. I have a fan going, I have my doors open, and all that good stuff. Alright, let's pour some more bismuth in there. You might see smoke around. It's not the pan. It is actually my burner, because I just scrubbed these, and they might give off a little bit of a smoke until it burns off all the stuff that I tried scrubbing off. As you can see, it's melting pretty quick, and we're gonna melt a pretty good portion of this, or quantity, I should say, I guess, so we could do some crystals. And we're gonna do the crystals right in this pan, so it'll cool off, and then what we'll do with the extra, we'll pour into the mold here and just make little ingots, heart ingots. As you can see, that's, and you'll get dross, like that's already dross. You got to be careful, because you think that cooled off quick enough. It didn't. It'll stay warm, still really hot for a long time. So you got to be super careful. Cannot stress how careful you need to be. I already figured that would have stopped smoking by now. I know there's nothing down in that burner, because I cleaned it completely. Took the whole stove apart. That's alright. So how have you guys been doing? I mean, me, I'm hanging in there, trying to get some good videos for you guys. I mean, like, it's really hard to do videos. It really is. I mean, there's lots of stuff I do that I forget to video that would probably be great, but lots of times I just forget the camera, and I'm super busy sometimes that I just don't think of it. And I got to stop doing that. If I'm gonna really, get serious about this, I need to video, and some good stuff. I need to get some good stuff. Not just, anything and everything. I need to do some interesting stuff. That's what I'm trying to do with this bismuth stuff. It's super interesting to me. I mean, just crazy cool. Alright, let's put some more in there. We're going to go ahead and quite a bit more in there. We'll let that melt down before we put more. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is super, super, super cool. So we'll go ahead and get this melted down, and I won't, let you guys sit here and listen to me ramble that whole time, because I'm pretty sure I'm not that interesting. So I'll go ahead and give it a good old pause, and we'll be back when I got this all melted down. Alrighty guys, so we're pretty much melted. That took about another, I don't know, probably 5 minutes that I waited off camera. So yeah, you can see here there's all kinds of dross. So you want to get your dross spoon, and look at that, that's all dross, which is the impurity, yeah, whatever that word is, I can't freaking pronounce right this second. That got me all tongue-tied. But anyways, imperfections. Jeez Louise, something. I don't think that's what I was going for, but that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use that word. What the heck do I know? I never claimed to be super smart. So you can see that it's actually starting to bubble a little bit, which is kind of interesting. So at this point, you can just turn off your heat, and really it's that simple of just heating it up. I mean, really, it just doesn't take much time at all, and you're heated. So what we got here is we got the bismuth, and the best way to make the biggest crystals is it to cool down super slow. That's the way to make the crystals, is so it cools down super slow. So what we got here, we're just going to wait until the top, you can tell it's starting to harden up a little bit. No, this is still drossing. And it makes some super cool colors. Super cool. And that is due to the different temperatures of it oxidizing. Yeah, that is just, this stuff's super cool to me. I mean, I really dig it. Got a little bit more dross here. Alrighty, now we're just going to sit here and wait for it. And just got to wait for it to cool down some. Let's see. I'm going to get my trusty old screwdriver. And if you shake it, you'll be able to see what's getting hard, because it'll kind of break apart. Now I'm learning just as you guys are watching and learning about this stuff, because I'm no expert, that's for sure. This is only my third or fourth time actually melting this stuff down, and you'll start to see like little squares forming. Do we got any yet? Let's pull that top layer again. Come on, crystals. Grow some crystals. No, we're not cool enough yet. If I would have took it off the burner, it would have cooled down real quick and crystals would have grown real quick, but I'm trying to grow big ones. Super big ones. And yeah, it does take, yeah, really, on the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't take that long. I mean, if you really think about it, what's, you know, 15-20 minutes to grow some metal crystals. This stuff is super cool. Guess I'll stop boasting about it and start trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Give it a little blow, maybe that'll start heating the top a little bit so we can form some crystals. Once they start forming fast, and you kind of really got to pay attention. You got to break apart the top so it doesn't keep clumping together, because this stuff will just, once it starts cooling, gets to that temperature to where it starts cooling, if another crystal touches another, it'll stick together. You got to be super careful with that. The sides are starting to harden up, so anytime we're going to have some crystals here. Here's one right here starting to form. I can see it. And you'll see them. They'll be yep, real nice hard shapes. Yeah, right here. This one's definitely a crystal. Yeah, you can see it. And then this one's definitely a crystal. Oh, excuse me. And here's another one. But you want to keep them broke apart. Yep, we're starting to get all kinds of them now. And the longer you can keep them in there, as far as I have researched, the bigger the crystals will be. These almost feel like they're touching the bottom already. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Wow. So's that one. Oh yeah, these are super, super good. Oh, we got one forming over here. If we can break it off, I want to be careful. I don't want to splash any of this, because you really, really want to be super, super careful with this stuff. You don't want to get burnt. But like I said, you got to move it around, and you know, don't let them touch. Yeah, they just start forming out of just all over, and it's just so cool. Let's get this one out of here. Yeah, look at that. And I'll have some more up close of them, so you can really see what we did here. Excuse me, man. Oh, that was just a... Oh wow, these These are just, oh, whoa, that one's going to be a big one now. Whoa, oh, don't mess it up. And you just get into this so much. You just kind of, I mean, it's so hard to not just get super excited. Because you're growing crystals out of metal. Oops, I flipped that one up and messed it up. You gotta be careful with that when you're using something like to form your crystals and move them around. That you get slag, or not slag, but you'll get lots of the metal on it, and then they'll start wanting to stick to it like that. And you don't want to splash it around because you want to just pick it up right out of the... Oh, that one didn't form so well, but that's alright. That's alright. I'm hoping this real big one here is going to be something special. What this one is, though. That one, oh, I just messed that up. Oh, well. And the thing that's super, super, super cool is you can remelt this stuff over and over and over if you're not satisfied like that. I thought that was going to be a super big crystal. It's not. But that's alright. That's alright. Alright, let's go ahead and pour this off into our ingot mold. That way you can see what the inside looks like afterwards. I'm going to pour really careful. The other thing you want to be careful about, you don't want to slop that or whatever, because it could fall out. Alrighty. But look at all that in there. Those little crystals and stuff in there. It just, there's all kinds of awesome, real awesomeness. I mean, it really is just super awesome. But, yeah. And then this, I'll just remelt this down. You could even I'll leave that alone because it's hot. But, you could even cut this out or smack it out of this here and then cut pieces, which would be super cool. We're going to set that in the dross pan because it ain't going to hurt it. And look at this. Look at this, YouTube. Holy crud. Look at this big bismuth crystal that we just grew. Right here. Me and you, we grew it. This thing is amazing. Super, super cool. Let's see what else we got here. This one is super cool too. I kind of messed up right here a little bit because I touched it, but that's alright. That's alright. We're learning. We're learning. You know? And then this one, look at the colors of this one. It's just fantastic. Super, super fantastic. And then there's this one. Look at that. It's just so amazing how these crystals form, and they're so like sharp edges, uniform, perfect squares or corners and stuff like that. I mean, it's just so cool. You know, this is the back side. You know, you wouldn't think if you seen that you flip it over and there would be that. I mean, that is just super cool. You know, so yeah, this is you know, the crystals we just grew right here. And I'm gonna try, this stuff cools down relevantly pretty fast. I mean, compared to other, I guess it's because it's not really that high a temperature. I mean, you know, 500 degrees is a lot and it is high, but compared to like aluminum or copper or something like that, it's nowhere near in the same ball game. That stuff gets super, super, super hot. You know, as you can see, that these are already formed, and I'm not going to touch those. Those are, oops, sorry guys, that you're out of focus there. These, I'm sure, are super warm still. I mean, yep, they're warm. Not so hot that, you know, it would, you know, really, really hurt you, but it's hot. So be careful. All right, guys and gals. There we go. Come on. All right. We're going to get out of here. I want to say thanks for staying and watching. And I will have some more videos with this bismuth. Doing some other things, like maybe casting a half of a circle or a sphere or something like that, and then cutting it in half or something to see what it is, or see if we can't get a maybe, I don't know. I want, like, if you guys got any ideas that you would like to see me like pour it and see it set a certain shape or something like that. What I'd really like to do is pour it into a skull and have half of a skull be crystals or whatever. But, anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.